When the fight becomes too much, are you recognizing trout stress and are you fishing with ethics? We're going to get into it right now on this episode of the Stillwater Edge Podcast. Welcome to Stillwater Edge, the ultimate podcast for stillwater fly fishing enthusiasts. I'm your host, Greg Keenan, and in each short, action-packed episode, I'll share expert tips, essential techniques, and clever tricks to help you elevate your stillwater fly fishing game to the next level. Welcome back to the Stillwater Edge Podcast. I'm your host, Greg Keenan. Today, I got a good show for you guys. It's an ethical show. It's are we being ethical as fly fishers, particularly on Stillwater? Are we aware of what's going on? Are we putting too much stress on the fish? So if you've ever wondered how long is too long to play a fish, this episode's for you because a lot of factors go on in that, particularly in those summer months. So we're going to get into it. Is it too hot to fish in those hot summer months for trout? Well, let's break down some science and separate the fact from fiction. Let's do it. All right, number one, why does this matter? Why does ethics and recognizing trout stress actually matter? Well, trout are incredibly resilient, but they're also fragile when they're stressed. I had to research that, by the way. High stress levels during the fight or improper handling after release can cause a delayed mortality. You handle your fish like crap and you think you let it go, chances are it's going to go die later on in the lake. High chance of that happening. If you're holding up your fish and it's dropping and flopping in your boat and hitting your seats and your fly box and all that, chances are it's going to go die when you go to let it go. It's just inevitable. So how can we, this is a fishery, we're all there to enjoy it. So how can we protect that? Ethics and practice aren't just about conservation. They ensure that our fishery is there for our future, and they also ensure that our fishery is there for us, for next season. I like fishing trophy lakes. I want to go back and get that 10-pounder that I got this year, and next year hope to God it's a 12. Ethically, that would be more fun for me, even if it's the same fish. So it's recognizing trout stress. That's actually more important. So signs that a fish is actually in extreme stress is excessive rolling or belly up behavior during the fight. So if it's rolling and whatnot, or it's belly up, a fish is stressed. And you'll see a lot of the smaller trout in those hotter months, they'll just float right into you. Extended recovery time when you're going to let that fish go and you're like, oh my God, man, this thing, if I let it go, it's just going to float upside down or it's not going to do well. It's not going to fare well and it's going to be loon food. So excessive time waiting for that. Gasping for oxygen is probably the biggest indication, right? I used to work on a vent unit as a nurse, and when that ventilator stopped, that patient went without oxygen, right? Think about that. Hold your breath for 1 minute. I challenge you to hold your breath for 1 minute. I can guarantee you that many of you cannot. And that's when I was the vent nurse, we had less than a minute for these people. Otherwise, they went into respiratory distress, right? But these trout that we're taking a picture, it might only seem 60 seconds out of water. So keep that in mind. When they're gasping for oxygen, keep that in mind that you really want to make sure that you're putting them back in the water and in between whatever you're doing with that fish, right? So these are all signs that we need to adjust our tactics. They're all signs and indications that we need to, be aware of before our next hookup as well. So another segment is the environmental factors. Water temperature is critical. We have no control over that. We have zero control. Trout begin to stress at temps above 65 Fahrenheit or 18 Celsius, okay? So we want to avoid targeting those fish in that warm water conditions. And yes, even if it's at a depth, surface temperature might be that. But it's challenging, right? It's challenging. We want to make sure that if we are going to go target fish that we're fishing deeper lakes, we're fishing ethically, we minimize our handling, we minimize our fight with that fish as well. In British Columbia, where I live, it gets so stinking hot that you have to know which lakes are good, high up on the mountain. You have to go really high alpine lakes to make sure that you're hitting the right temperatures. Those fish you aren't fishing some of the lower level lakes where the fish are pretty stressed. So another thing that I wrote is ethical in fishing practices, right? So fight fish effectively, right? Use appropriate tippets, keep fish wet, definitely use barbless hooks. Well, that's a no-brainer. And limit photo sessions, right? Know when to quit. If the water's too warm to target another species. Again, that's why I offer in the Stillwater Edge, the guiding, we offer bass trips in the summer. We'll go target bass and carp all summer long. And it's actually way more effective. And we're catching more. If I go trout fishing sometimes in those hot, 43-degree days, You might only get one fish, and it's a long way to drive for one fish. So sometimes it's not worth it, but sometimes we'll go and smash out, 20 largemouth on the fly, which is just as fun. Sometimes it could be even funner in the hot times. That's kind of where I'm at. Ethical fishing isn't just about rules, it's about respect for the fish and the resources and your fellow anglers as well. Recognizing stress levels is super important in fishing. So that's just more of a reminder for everybody that's out there about efficacy in fishing and when to tell if fish are stressed. Just a quick reminder for everybody that's in the Stillwater fly fishing community, myself included. As always, guys, great episode. I'll see you on the water.